Welcome to day 2 and your day 2 task. Today we're sorting. And before you run screaming, I'm going to tell you a way to make this so much easier. Now you've probably heard of the concept only touch it once when it comes to papers. But I think that one's kind of garbage. I don't subscribe to that one because what if you have an overwhelming stack? That can seem like a huge project and be quite daunting. So I like to break things down into smaller bites. And when I do break down sorting into smaller bites, that means broader categories. So you're probably going to need to do several sorts. Now, if you don't have an overwhelming amount of papers, you might not need to sort so many times. But if you've got more than a laundry basket, this is probably going to save you a whole lot of time and mental energy, even though it doesn't seem like it will. Now, we talked about a little bit with our action file that we try to do 10 categories or fewer. And the reason we do this is because we want broad categories so our brain has fewer choices to make. It only has 10 options that it needs to choose from, so it makes it a lot easier. Now, if you were to try to sort everything maybe directly into your file cabinet, that would be a lot of decisions for your brain to make over and over and over again. So your entire pile means each paper can be between maybe 50 to 100 choices depending on how many file folders are in your file cabinet. Your brain will get exhausted very quickly and you won't function quite as well. You'll forget what choices you already made and it will seem awful. So the way that I sort when it's a larger project, first I sort simply into keep or go. With the keep, I don't care where I'm going to keep them. Whether they're in the action file, in the file cabinet, it does not matter. I only need to decide, am I keeping it? And with the go, that also doesn't matter what its next step is. Whether it's shred, recycle, trash, it doesn't matter. It's just go. So at the end of that first sort, you'll probably end up with 2 piles. Now, of these 2 piles, you may have a couple decisions that you could not quite figure out keep or go. Feel free to use a couple papers in a maybe pile. Just try to use that category sparingly. The goal is to make as many decisions now as possible while your brain is still fresh. So the next sort, again, while your brain is still fresh, is the keep pile. So you could put aside your to-go pile. We'll deal with that later. You're going to look through your keep pile and you're just going to decide, is it an action file item or does it get filed in either your filing cabinet or in your Spark Life binder? That's the only choice that you're going to decide. So this is when your action file will come in handy. You can pull out your action file and keep it next to you while you're working. And that way, if you come across something that you need to read or to enter or to do, you can just plop it right in the file folder in your action file that it belongs. If it goes in your file cabinet, you can either use the to scan or the to file files if you want to, but those will most likely get very full very fast. So you might want to grab another box altogether. A lot of times I will grab anything around the house. It might be a grocery bag and I will label it to file, or it could be just a random box around the house, or even maybe another one of my little fold-in files. Assemble a couple of them for whatever you need so that you can quickly toss papers into them. You want it to have a nice open top so you can quickly decide on a paper and toss it in. We're not trying to be neat, we're just trying to make fast decisions into where it goes. So you can have to file, you can have to scan, you can still have that go pile nearby if you change your mind, and then in your action file, if you come across anything that's a to do, a to read, a to enter, then that's when you're going to tuck it right into that action file for later. If that all makes sense to you, then you'll work through your entire keep pile that way until everything is where it's supposed to go. Now, if you do already have your Spark Life binder, this is a good thing to have next to you at the same time, because if it's part of the vital information that you would want to enter in your Spark Life binder, maybe you can just tuck it away with your binder. A lot of times I will put my binder along with a box or a bin, and then anything that would go in the binder, any of those important papers, the vital information, the important documents, the insurance policies, the bank account numbers, things like that, I can tuck right in with the binder, and then I can just spend time later entering that information in, if that makes sense. Now, if you don't have the Spark Life binder yet, or you don't know what the binder is, I will tell you later this week about how you can either get one or build one yourself. So don't worry too much about that right now. That's just, if you already have one, this is a perfect time to start gathering papers for that as well. Once you have your keep pile sorted, now you have all of your keep in either to file or to enter in your Spark Life binder, to scan, the action file. It's all within 10 categories or fewer. Now you can work on your to-go pile. So your to-go pile, you're simply deciding, is it shred or is it recycle? Very simple. Yes, it will take some brain power because you have to decide if it's shred or recycle. And again, later this week, I'll talk about a little bit about some resources to learn more about shred versus recycle. But for now, do your best. If you think that it needs to be shred, you could put it in the to shred pile. If you're not sure, you could put it in the to shred pile. And if you're sure that you don't need to shred it, you could put it in the recycle. And then you're just going to either shred it or recycle it, depending on which category you sorted it into. Sometimes it helps to go to a shredding service and just this one time in order to just get it done. Sometimes if it's a very, very large pile and your brain is completely shot and you're able to, maybe you take the entire go pile to shred. That's okay too. Sometimes just getting it done so you can get to that baseline is all that we need. Whatever works for you, go ahead and do it. Now, it is okay also if you don't finish sorting all of it today or even this week. Just take the laundry basket. Remember, we only pulled out about one laundry basket's worth. If there's more than that, then you don't want to have it all in your living space. Just leave it tucked away and pull it out as you need it. But whatever's left in your laundry basket, save it and just work on it one small chunk a day. Maybe do 15 minutes of sorting. It's kind of funny because once you do 15 minutes, you'll kind of realize that you might not want to stop when the 15-minute timer goes off because you've already gotten past the I don't want to do it in your brain and you're into the this isn't so bad part of the job. So maybe set a timer for 15 minutes a day or 15 minutes every once in a while until you've whittled away at it. And then you'll just continue this process with any other papers you have. So as you empty your laundry basket, if you have more papers to add to sort, then just go ahead, grab them, make another laundry basket full, and do the process again. Whatever works for you. If you do feel like you need to get to a finish line, even if you have more papers, it's okay to stop sorting for a bit and move on with the day 3, day 4, and day 5 tasks to actually get them into the filing cabinet. That's fine too. Work with whatever you need to do so that you don't feel overwhelmed. And if you do feel overwhelmed, reach out in the group. That's what we're here for. And you are not the only one who has an overwhelming amount of paper or feels that this is a hard process. That's why we're all here. And the group is a safe place. Now, tomorrow we will talk more about that to file and how to handle all of the papers that are to file. Don't worry about it right now. You don't need to know that step yet. All right? Keep on sorting. You've absolutely got this, one small bite at a time with as broad of a category as you can. And I will talk to you very soon. I love you.